Russia has launched another wave of attacks across Ukraine. But despite the intensity, there are growing signs that Moscow is struggling to turn these strikes into real success. Over the last 24 hours, Russian forces fired missiles and drones toward multiple Ukrainian cities, with explosions reported in several regions as air raid sirens echoed across the country. But once again, Ukraine's defenses held. Ukrainian air defense systems were activated quickly, tracking incoming missiles and drones, and in many areas, interceptors lit up the night sky, destroying targets before they could hit the ground. This is becoming a clear pattern. Russia launches large-scale attacks, but Ukraine is now intercepting a significant number of them. Missiles are being shot down, and drone attacks are losing effectiveness. That creates a serious problem for Russia. Each missile launch is expensive, and each drone costs resources. So when those attacks fail to cause major damage, it weakens Russia's overall strategy. Ukraine is also adapting fast. Defense systems are improving, radar tracking is becoming faster, and response times are getting sharper, meaning fewer missiles are getting through compared to earlier stages of the war. At the same time, life continues in Ukrainian cities. Despite the attacks, city streets remain active. Emergency crews respond quickly, and power systems are restored after damage, showing resilience under constant pressure. On the battlefield, the situation tells a similar story. Russian forces have been trying to push forward, but frontline positions remain largely unchanged in many areas, with months of fighting producing only limited gains and no major breakthrough. Instead, progress has been slow, costly, and difficult for Russian forces, raising serious questions about their strategy. Because if missile strikes are not causing decisive damage, and ground advances are not delivering results, then the overall impact of these attacks becomes limited. For Ukraine, this creates an advantage. Strong defenses and steady resistance are forcing Russia into a difficult position, with each failed attack adding pressure and exposing weaknesses. There is also a psychological impact. When attacks fail to achieve clear results, it affects perception and shows that Ukraine is not only resisting, but also improving its ability to defend. Meanwhile, Ukraine continues to strengthen its position through new defensive systems, better coordination, and faster responses, making it harder for Russia to gain momentum. While Russian forces rely heavily on repeated strikes, but repetition without results becomes a problem. Launching more missiles does not guarantee success if most are intercepted, and sending more drones does not change the outcome if defenses continue to improve, creating a cycle where Russia increases attacks, but the overall impact stays limited. And that may be the biggest issue, because in a long conflict, efficiency matters more than volume. If Ukraine continues to intercept attacks and hold defensive positions, then Russia's ability to change the situation becomes weaker over time. So, while the latest strikes may look intense, they do not necessarily show strength. They may show pressure to achieve results, pressure to break through defenses, and pressure to change the direction of the war. But so far, that pressure is not leading to clear success. Instead, Ukraine continues to defend, adapt, and hold its ground. And as long as that continues, Russia faces a growing challenge. Because without real progress, repeated attacks begin to lose their impact. And that could shape what happens next. For now, Ukraine remains resilient, while Russia struggles to turn attacks into real gains.